Hello and welcome to Ignite. It's really fantastic to be back here in Chicago with all of you and everyone joining from around the world. It's always fun to be in conferences like this, at times like this, when major platform shifts are in the air. They're exciting, the buzz. In some sense, I live for these. Today, I want to focus on AI and this transformational power as it drives growth in business. It improves efficiency. It improves operating leverage. And to do that, we are building out 3 platforms: Copilot, Copilot devices, and Copilot and AI stack. That's it. Those are the 3 platforms. But before I dive into all of the news across the platforms, I want to talk about something that we are prioritizing above all else, that is security. We continue to invest in security. You can see the updates we are making, tons and tons of announcements that you'll hear about across the security stack. The one thing, though, I want to point out is Purview. It's probably the product for this conference, because in the age of AI, data governance takes on an even more critical, central, important role. And in Purview, we're introducing updates to prevent everything from oversharing, risky use of AI, such as malicious intent detection, prompt injections, misuse of protected material. So there's a lot in Purview. At the end of the day, though, we recognize that when it comes to security, it's fundamentally a team sport. And today, I'm really excited to announce our zero-day quest. This is the first big announcement that I'm excited about, because it's a new hacking event. There will be $4 million in rewards focused on securing cloud and AI. It's the highest rewards of any public hacking event in the industry. And the quest starts today and will culminate in an in-person hacking event next year. So we're very, very excited about it. So with that, let's just dive into each of the platforms, and starting with Copilot. Copilot is the UI for AI. It's rapidly becoming an organizing layer for work and how work gets done. Every employee will have a Copilot that knows them, their work, helping them unlock productivity, enhancing creativity, and saving time. And Copilot Studio will allow you to create agents that automate business processes. And every IT department will have a control system to manage, secure, and measure impact. That's it. Those are the 3 basic concepts of the Copilot ecosystem. Over the past year, we've seen incredible momentum. What Lean did for manufacturing, AI will do for knowledge work. It's all about increasing value and reducing waste. Just take risk analysis at Bank of Queensland Group. In the past, when an incident occurred, they would have to go through thousands of documents and write reports. And now they use Copilot to be able to synthesize everything that happened and create that first draft. That means analysis that took weeks is just taking a day. Vodafone is another great example. Their legal team used to manually analyze and draft and renegotiate thousands of contracts that govern their massive base station network. And now they use Copilot to determine which contracts need to be renewed, which need to be scrapped, and to keep track of all the expiry dates. Vodafone was also personalizing all of their customer service by leveraging Copilot, as well as Azure AI to manage customer inquiries. Their virtual assistant engages in more than 45 million monthly customer conversations, and it's reducing the average hold time by more than 1 minute. Copilot is also not just in Pages, but it's deeply integrated, right? It's not just about chats and Pages, but it's deeply integrated into the entirety of Microsoft 365 system. Let's say it's starting with Teams. Copilot can reason over all the past meetings and chats and transcripts and get you quickly up to speed. With Teams, in fact, screen understanding, which we're announcing today, it's pretty exciting. Copilot can even answer questions about presentations and documents shared during the meeting as well, right? You're doing a presentation, Here is a Copilot that understands exactly what that you're presenting and answer questions about that presentation. In Word, Copilot creates a draft based on other Word documents, PowerPoint, PDFs, emails, meetings. You never have to start from a blank page. In PowerPoint, you can enter a prompt of what you want to do, or what your presentation is about, and the narrative builder generates essentially a spec for your presentation, right? An outline with topics, and you can edit it, refine it, its suggestions, and it'll create your first complete presentation. And in Outlook, this feature is something that I've sort of gotten so used to. It's the quickest daily habit I've built, which is prioritize my inbox, is a total game changer because it helps you quickly get to the messages that matter, analyzing your inbox based on both the content of the mail, but also the role of the sender and the context. And that's, I think, it's just like someone went and labeled every piece of email with that blue arrow and said, why is this important, right? I mean, think about it. And I think what we're doing in Excel, though, is perhaps one of my favorite things. You know, just like what GitHub Copilot did for software developers, Copilot in Excel will do for data analysts. I can start with a very high-level prompt that in the past, for example, I would have given a data analyst. Let's say I'm in a manufacturing plant and I want to figure out how to improve production rate, right? So I give a high-level prompt. I'm saying, hey, come back with an analysis on what can we do here. And Copilot uses this advanced reasoning capabilities to build out a full plan for strategic analysis. I can easily change that plan, adjust it as I want to, and then it just goes and executes the plan. And throughout, I can see it actually doing the work. It calculates and then summarizes the insights and the actions in minutes. Like, how amazing is that? Right? It takes data analysis and makes it available to everyone who has an Excel spreadsheet. Now, you know, if you have all of this richness of Copilot that you're using across the length and breadth of Microsoft 365, let's talk a little bit about how you can extend Copilot. Today, I'm really excited to announce Copilot Actions. With these actions, you can use Copilot to reduce the amount of time you spend on repetitive, everyday tasks that you do. In fact, the best way to conceptualize actions is for those of you who used Outlook rules. This is Outlook rules for the age of AI. And it works across the entire M365 system, not just in Outlook, right? So it automates everything from asking for, let's say, a status update from your team, compiling weekly reports, to scheduling emails, requesting feedback on a document. Actions are a very simple but yet powerful way for you to scale what you do. It's just a simple interface. And we're not stopping there. And today we're introducing new agents you can use within the context of your team. Again, the best way to think about these are as just your teammates. They're scoped to specific roles with very specific permissions, just like we have permissions and roles. For example, a facilitator agent is someone you can add to your team's meeting, and the facilitator will help keep the meeting focused, moderate the meeting, chats, as well as the follow-up and action items. Our project manager agent in Planner will help automate, in fact, all the key steps in a project management workflow. It'll create a new plan, from scratch, it'll help oversee what's happening across the project, task assignments, content creation. And next is even self-service agents, right? So for these agents provide really useful information, answer questions on policies, but not just that. When it comes to HR and IT, these agents will help you complete the task. Think of these as just augmenting your HR and IT departments. And we're also announcing SharePoint agents. Every SharePoint site will now have a built-in agent. These agents provide instant access to real-time information and insights from your knowledge base in the flow of your work. We're also giving you the ability to easily create your own Copilot or your own agents using Copilot Studio. sometimes we sort of mystify these agents as things that, somehow require a lot of effort to build. But it's really pretty straightforward. In fact, our vision is that it should be as simple as creating a Word doc or a PowerPoint slide or an Excel spreadsheet. That's it. Like when you say agent, think creating a doc. You can also make these agents autonomous using Copilot Studio. And they can always raise an exception in Copilot for input. Remember, like even an autonomous agent from time to time will need attention. And it'll need UI. And that UI for interacting with us is Copilot. So we are very excited to share many of our partners have built their own agents and connectors in Microsoft 365 Copilot. That includes Adobe and obviously LinkedIn, SAP, ServiceNow, Workday, and even companies like Cohere. They're building AI-first agents are also integrating right into Copilot. So now let's take a look at one more very important consideration, which is measurement. After users start using Copilot, and all these agents, one of the fundamental things that all business leaders want to do is to figure out how do we measure ROI. And so today, we are very excited to announce Copilot Analytics. Yeah. If you take, let's say, a sales territory manager, so they can now correlate the specific Copilot usage to a business metric like their win rate over time, right? And it's not just Copilot, it's Copilot and all the agents that you built. You can look at their usage and start tuning even the usage to the business KPIs, right? Our goal is to show how Copilot usage is ultimately directly translating into business outcomes across sales, marketing, finance, and more. And there are many, many more examples. This is fundamentally the process because it's really a question of change management. So think of Copilot Analytics as a tool for all of us to change how work, workflow, and work artifacts are all getting done, right? That, I think, is ultimately how we get ROI. Now let's move to the next platform, which is devices. In the age of AI, even the devices are fundamentally getting transformed, right? In the cloud, with both AI and cloud. Now, what we are doing, what is happening here is that we're fundamentally taking what's happening in the cloud with AI to the edge. And think of all of this as one continuous distributed computing fabric. Over the past year, we have introduced an entirely new class of Windows PCs designed to unleash the power of that distributed computing fabric across the cloud and the edge. We call these Copilot. It's my go-to developer desktop. It gives full access to GitHub, code spaces, VS Code, Azure SDKs, all the CLIs set up in one place, and I can access it everywhere. Our Windows app now gives us one-click access to all of these Microsoft virtualization on any device. Today, we are announcing, in fact, Windows app is coming to Android. We're excited about that. We're announcing mobile application management. I know this is something that IT has wanted for a long time, and it's both to iOS and Android. This means any employee can work on Windows 365 even on their personal devices, like this iPad, because your corporate apps and files stay secure, all managed on the cloud PC. Windows 365 itself is growing rapidly. It's grown, by triple digits year over year, and it's now used by some of the world's largest companies, including Wells Fargo, Johnson & Johnson, Siemens. And today, though, I'm really excited about the next big step here. And I'm really thrilled to announce Windows 365 Link. You can see it right here. It's a simple, secure, purpose-built device for Windows 365. It's admin-less, password-less, and security configurations are enabled by default and cannot be turned off. Windows 365 Link expands the PC category or the cloud PC category by connecting you directly to your productivity in the cloud with no data or information left on any device. We're not stopping there. We're extending our cloud to the edge. And today, we're going further and announcing Azure Local. This is, again, something that many of you have asked us to do, which is bring, Azure Arc all the way to all of the edge. With Azure Local, extends Azure services across hybrid, multi-cloud, and edge locations with one central control plane. It brings Azure services to customers' distributed locations, whether they're in retail or hospitality, obviously manufacturing, so that they can run their mission-critical workloads, some of these new AI workloads across cloud and edge. A great example of this is how Armada has taken Azure Local and, in fact, with Starlink connectivity, is helping Marriott with full resilience, even in the midst of real extreme weather events. Now, when it comes to silicon, our Cobalt 100 VMs became generally available last month, and customers and partners, whether it's Databricks or Siemens, Snowflake, are seeing up to 50% improvements in price performance with these virtual machines. In fact, our own media processing capabilities in Teams are now all 100% on Cobalt 100 as well. And we're not stopping there with silicon innovation. Our approach to silicon includes deep commitment to security. And I'm excited to announce our first in-house security chip, Azure Integrated HSM. This is it. It is a dedicated hardware security module that hardens key management, managing encryption and key signing that can remain within the bounds of the device without compromising performance or security. And starting next year, it'll be part of every new server deployed on Azure, enhancing security for both confidential computing as well as general purpose virtual machines and containers. So we are very, very excited about this new silicon innovation. Today, we are very excited about expanding Azure Boost with our first in-house DPU. And this is DPUs are processors specifically architected to accelerate data-centric workloads, absorbing multiple components of a traditional server into a single piece of silicon. It runs, in fact, cloud storage workloads at 3 times less power and 4 times the performance. I mean, what this will do for storage is what SmartNICs did for host and the network. These are going to do for storage. And of course, when it comes to AI, we are continuing to build out these new data center intelligence factories, right? We're extending all of Azure as the world's computer to basically be these intelligence factories. Tokens per watt plus dollar is the best way to think about the new currency of performance. It's all about maximizing that value and doing it in the most efficient way. The pace of innovation across the industry is simply phenomenal, and we are working with our partners to bring you more choice across cost and performance. That includes our deep partnership with NVIDIA, which, of course, spans bringing their own workloads, whether it's Omniverse or DGX Cloud onto Azure, but of course, working with them at the core system level on AI infrastructure. In fact, last month, we brought new clusters with H200s that became available. We're very excited about it. And our systems stack optimization we have done between H100 to H200 continue to push on the total performance that we can deliver to anyone doing inference or training. And today, we are announcing the preview of NVIDIA Blackwell AI infrastructure on Azure. Blackwell is pretty amazing. It's got this 72 GPUs on a single NVLink domain, and then you combine it with InfiniBand on the back end. These racks are optimized for the most cutting-edge training workloads and inference workloads. So we are very excited about having Blackwell. And we're also continuing to work very closely with AMD. We're the first cloud that offered VMs powered by AMD's MI300X GPU, and we're using that infrastructure to power Azure OpenAI, so that's in our fleet today. And today we're introducing, in fact, Azure HBV5, which we co-engineered with AMD. It's up to 8 times faster than any other cloud virtual machine, setting a new standard for high-performance computing, and it'll be generally available next year. And now, of course, when it comes to our own AI accelerator, Maya 100, I'm really excited to say that it's right now live in US East region, supporting Azure OpenAI inferencing. In fact, one of the most impactful applications we built is our customer service today, and it's all running today on Maya 100, and doing all of the customer support workloads. So it's exciting to see Maya make it into the fleet, and we'll continue to improve it and scale it. Ultimately, this is all about really being able to bring compute, storage, network, edge, silicon to deliver that TCO performance for all of your workloads. So now with that infrastructure layer, let's move to the next one, which is data. There's no AI without data, and we are building out this full data estate to just do that. At the core of our platform is Microsoft Fabric, which we introduced last year at Ignite. It brings together all of your data as well as all of your analytical workloads into one unified experience. With one lake, in fact, in Fabric, you can easily unify your data no matter whether it lives in Azure or whether it's on-premise, whether it's on Amazon or GCP. You can create this data layer for AI workloads in one place. The momentum actually has been incredible. We have over 16,000 Fabric customers, including 70% of the Fortune 500. And today, we're taking the next step with it. We are very excited to announce that we are bringing our flagship operational database, SQL Server, natively to Fabric with Microsoft Fabric databases. Just like Fabric simplified every aspect of an organization's analytical needs, we want to do the same for operational databases. So now with Microsoft Fabric, customers have an enterprise data platform that serves all of their use cases, right? Whether it's batch data, real-time, or even massive transactional performance, all in one unified product. And all of that data is in open source formats in Fabric's One Lake. When it comes to applications, every application is an AI application, and every new generation of apps has brought a changing set of needs, right? When it was the web or mobile or cloud, you need to build a new app platform. The same thing is happening with AI. AI is transforming how we design and customize and manage apps today. And that's why we're building out a first-class app server for the AI age, announcing Azure AI Foundry. With Foundry, we are unifying all of our models, tooling, safety, and monitoring solutions into a single experience, integrated with the most popular developer tools available as a standalone SDK and a portal. Now, let's go to dev tools. We have the best developer tools for this AI era. GitHub Copilot is by far the most widely adopted, used AI developer tool, and we are focused on making it even more of a game changer. Until recently, if you think about my own usage of Copilot, you use the editor with completions, and you use chat. No more. Now with Copilot edits, you get both of them to come together. We are bringing chat and inline editing together so that you can easily make inline changes across a set of files, so you can have a working set of files and then just use natural language to be able to change across all files. So Copilot's gone full multi-file. And with workspaces, Copilot is the most advanced and the first agentic AI-native IDE. Copilot Workspaces leverages agents from start to finish, right? You can go from sort of basically an issue to a spec to plan to code, all in natural language. And just last month at GitHub Universe, we added agents on both ends of the workflow, right? One for ideation and one for automatically building and repairing code. And we're not just stopping with just writing code. We are building software agents across the entire life cycle, from testing to deployment. And we can tackle these complex code maintenance tasks, like upgrading an app framework. Right here, you have this example of a Java framework where you're applying updates, iterating until, in fact, that all of your code builds and all the tests pass. And so that's just an agent that's doing that for you. Agents can also improve, in fact, performance. This is pretty cool, right? Which is performance engineering agent, effectively, by creating performance benchmarks, running them, iterating on the code until, in fact, you find a solution and you pass the performance evals. And finally, agents can also help you go from, seamlessly from idea to implementation all the way to production by creating all the resources on Azure, right? So, and deploying it. So think of all of the DevOps functions and having an agent for it. And all of this innovation is what we're working on, and it'll just ship in the months to come. So we're very excited about it. Talking about AI for science, though, this new era of discovery can go into hyperdrive with quantum computing. To simulate the world, you have to fundamentally break free from the limitations of the von Neumann architecture in classical computing. And for that to happen, we need reliable qubits, not just noisy qubits that are currently available. And our Azure Quantum provides that unique virtualization technology that can extend any type of qubit, detect errors in physical qubits, correct them, and reliably help compute over them. In fact, earlier this year, our partner Continuum and us, we achieved like a first-time ever record of reliable logical qubits, a huge, huge milestone for the industry. And then just a couple of months ago, we went further. We announced 12 reliable logical qubits. That was the record. And today, I'm really thrilled to announce yet another milestone, this time with atom computing. We just doubled the previous record, creating a machine of 24 logical qubits. I mean, to just kind of put this in perspective, like these logical qubits are all entangled, making it the foundation for the world's most powerful quantum machines. And to give you a sense for why this matters, if you had 100 of these reliable qubits, you will have scientific quantum advantage, could be achieved. And so this is, and that'll unlock, as you can imagine, the computing power to go solve some of the most pressing challenges we have.